Right then, breaking news coming in. The match has been called off. India was sitting pretty at 97 for 1. And just when things were getting exciting, just when Suryakumar Yadav was taking on the Australian attack, Australia must have thought that this is a welcome break. You know, this was like the Pantanesque break that happened for them by default, where they thought, okay, it'll allow them to regroup because they were going for a lot of runs and come back and then continue the game. But such has been the weather that no returning back. Game is done and dusted. India got a chance to play at least one half of their inning and almost got 100 runs. Still a few positives, still a few talking points, despite we only had 1/4 of a game technically. Out of the 40 overs, 9.4, so 1/4 of a game, but has given us plenty of talking points. Yes, where do you want to start? Let's start with how the games finished, and two players I think we can talk about. Suryakumar Yadav, 39, much needed 39, because when we were doing a build up to this series and were asking the 4 big questions, question number 1 was Suryakumar Yadav and his form, and couldn't have asked for a better start.
Yeah, for somebody who hasn't scored, now this one will also count. Now for 15 innings he's not scored a 50, but today one can say in this 15th innings he was definitely looking like somebody who would get to that 50 finally. But in that same sample size, if you have to talk about last 14 innings that he's gone without a 50, strike rate was way less than what we've seen today. Today was 162. In those 14 matches it averages to about 105. That's not Suryakumar Yadav, that's some other player when you talk about those numbers. He'd only managed 100 runs in those 14 innings. Today he scored 39 alone. And how did he get those 39 runs? I think I was very happy with the way that he went about his business. Again, didn't get that boundary early on in the first couple of deliveries, but didn't lose his composure there. And once he got his eye in, which was just 3-4 deliveries, we could see him, knowing the fact that it could rain, he was willing to take his chances, and he was making use of the leg side far more, as he's so often used to doing. But today he was clearly ahead of the bowler, especially Hazlewood. I would say he realized Hazlewood's going to be bowling him a certain length, and I noticed how he was going back to the back foot and he was targeting the leg side far more in the case of Josh Hazlewood. So just a step ahead of the bowler, which is something we say about Suryakumar Yadav a lot. This is the same guy who has 3 shots in his mind every time the bowler charges at him, is what he says. And today it did look like that Suryakumar Yadav to me.
Well, before heading into this match, he was known more for his off-field punches rather than the contributions on the field. He had made
off-field punches.
I mean, the way how he was talking in the Asia Cup and all those things.
I thought actual punches.
He was known for that prior to the series, but then we knew that with more truer conditions in Australia, it suits his kind of stroke play. And that first 630 hit of Hazlewood, 92 meters, vintage. I mean, you see it, Suryakumar Yadav doing it so many times at the Wankhede. You would have felt that, yes, he's doing it right here at the Manuka Oval. So, and the way how he utilized the straight down the ground, Ellis in particular, 2 4s and that 630 hit, that was an indication that, yes, he finally, after so many months, found the right conditions and he looked the part. The Suryakumar Yadav of Wankhede was transported to Suryakumar Yadav here.
I did see there, in fact, we've been saying this for very long. I think one of the biggest positives for this game is that maybe Sky has found his template. And I think this is what we were begging from him, that if he does take his time and only attacks the loose balls or the balls in his area and doesn't try to be overly aggressive, he can, set that foundation. Because he's such an aggressive batter, he can go on and get a much higher strike rate later. So why does he, if you remember during Asia Cup also, and I was talking to Mr. Gavaskar, he said that maybe Sky needs to just spend some time. It's okay. I know that you want to set this example as a captain, that I bat like this and everyone wants to bat like that, but he can allow himself the luxury of batting run a ball for the first few deliveries and then going big. And that's exactly what he did. I think the first 15-16 odd balls he was batting at run a ball, despite that 638 at the start. Still run a ball, 100 strike rate. But see, when the game has stopped and when he was getting warmed up, he's sitting at a very, very healthy 160 strike rate. I'm saying if the game had gone on and if he did get to his 50, which it seemed like, he would have gotten at that strike rate we are so used to, at 160, 70. That sort of a strike rate we are so used to, and that would have been more than satisfactory. In fact, that would have been outstanding. So I think this will allow him to follow this template going forward, which will allow him. Also, he was not only playing those shots behind the wicket that he's so known for. Today was ready to play conventional shots to begin with. I like that. The only issue I have with this approach is, I'm okay with him doing this approach, but I think then he should push himself down to number 4 to do this approach, because this sort of an approach is okay for post power play sort of a scenario. If a wicket is to fall early, then let a Tilak or dare I say even Sanju come in earlier and he pushes himself, because he has the ability to bat like this even when the field spreads out, and even if he's batting in the second half of the inning, he takes his time and then explodes and gets you those runs. But maybe that runner ball first 15 ball could be an issue if you are playing a 200 plus sort of a game. In that scenario, send somebody else.
I think this is just down to confidence at the moment. The moment he gets his mojo back, perhaps you'll see him hit, fifth gear from the word go. Right now, I think he also
then
realized.
What if he goes back to the same ways of not getting runs?
Then we are saying that Suryakumar Yadav's lost his powers then.
No, I'm not saying. He showed you his past.
Yeah.
He's a conditions batter. I'll be very honest about it. In slow, sluggish conditions, he's somehow not found that template. I mean, I'll tell you, Asia Cup, for a guy of his caliber, he can score anywhere, right? But then he struggled to get his timing. I mean, this one particular shot that he hit of Hazelwood, if he had hit it in Dubai, he would have held out to third man. The conditions here are far more truer. That's why you look at it, even South Africa. He did well in South Africa also. Far truer conditions dictates his template. In sluggish conditions, he's not able to find that template.
I said that yesterday as well. That these conditions in Australia will perhaps be right up his alley, because what we've seen in slowish conditions, even in the IPL, yes, I know he's gotten runs away from the 1K day as well, but looking at, there is a gap from how his numbers look away from 1K day, especially in slowish conditions. Remember last year as well, when Lucknow was truly slow. On those kind of pitches, you saw Suryakumar Yadav slow down just a bit, not a lot, just a bit. But that Asia Cup was a good enough sample size. You got to see good number of matches, and that's why you realize perhaps on those sluggish wickets, this is where he struggles just a bit. Nothing wrong, perhaps. Of course, you would want somebody who's way more dynamic and can adapt a bit more, as some of the other batters did. But perhaps that's where you need a Tilak Verma kind of an innings, as we saw in the final. Today, Suryakumar Yadav was giving me those kind of vibes, while the wicket wasn't sluggish per se. But the fact that these are going to be largely wickets which will have a lot of pace on and pace off will perhaps not be as rewarding. It can take the batter by surprise, but the ball won't stick into the wicket as we saw in Dubai. Maybe in that case, Suryakumar Yadav will definitely prosper in these Australian conditions.
So, yeah, I mean, he can, depending upon the condition and depending upon the situation, I think in these kind of things, see, you've gotten matches in Gold Coast. That's going to be a first for India. You're going to play at the Gabba, far truer conditions there. Melbourne, slightly sluggish on the given day that's there. And you're going to play the second T20I also in rather truer conditions. So, I don't see Surya having that struggle like what you had in the Asia Cup. But I think this template, why have we not been focusing so much on Surya's form for the past 1.5 years? The team is winning. And if Surya's form was a concern and the team was losing, then we would be scrutinizing it far more. So that is the current situation. I look at it when you have to look at Suryakumar Yadav and his template.
He's yet to lose a series as a captain.
Yeah, he's not lost a series. I think you lost how many? Three matches in 2 years?
3, I think.
3. You went through the Asia Cup undefeated. You lost one game against England.
South Africa, you lost.
You lost one game. That's it. And Zimbabwe, but that was not Suryakumar Yadav's captaincy, was it? Gill.
I doubt, I remember reading 3, 2, of course, we all recall.
3 is Zimbabwe, what he's saying. That was Gill's captaincy.
Perhaps. So, again, the entirety of the last year and a half.
So, that is why I think Suryakumar Yadav's form, if we do well at this point in time, say in the next 4 matches, if he does well, but then he'll have to adapt in India. And that's where you're going to play 10 out of the remaining 15 T20Is that you're going to have. You're playing 5 South Africa, 5 New Zealand.
I would in fact think, Siddharth, being in India is something that is going to be far more easing for him when he looks at the prospect of playing all those matches. Yes, form has eluded him in recent times, but the one place where he backs himself, I think, to get runs, it has to be Indian conditions. And let's be honest, barring
Has to be Wankhede conditions.
But barring a few venues, I would say, in India, what we've seen in IPL, look at Hyderabad, what it's become, look at what Delhi's become, look at what Vizag was, Dharamshala we know, even the new Mullapur Stadium. Again, these aren't really slow decks anymore or ever were. So more and more tracks are getting flatter, and I think Suryakumar Yadav is only bound to excel in those conditions.
Yep.
Okay, apart from Sky, the other guy whose form we were talking about,
Shubman.
Imagine what a day.
Yeah.
Every question that you guys are raising, I don't know if I can call you haters, Sky hater or Gill hater. Because nowadays anybody who raises a question is a hater. Na?
Analyst, yeah.
No, I'm saying generally. I know that, I'm saying.
I mean,
So the two questions that you raise about two batters, both. And see, this is what I was telling you about Gill. No, I do see that when he came into the team, there was a lot of talk. JAISWAL should be there, which I agree. But I think the mandate is clear. Shubman is now not the T20 batter that you've seen him. In this team, he'll have to bat like that. And if he's ready to accept that role, then I see no issue.
he's got the best strike rate today, 185.
If
you see Asia Cup, he was trying that.
Yeah.
Again, the pitches weren't great, but he was attempting, which is now a clear-cut indication that he has been told that what you play in Gujarat is different, and obviously it's a different team, different philosophy. Here, this is our philosophy, and he said, fine, if this is the philosophy, I'll bat like that.
See, there is no reason for you to make an exception. Yes, you've already made one
No, I'm not saying the team. What had happened is because fans are questioning, how can he be the guy, who can be in this team? Everyone is batting like that.
It was unfair to begin with. There is no better way of saying that.
But no, I'm saying
because you
it
want
is unfair if he continues to bat in this way.
See, no,
but if he says that I'll also bat.
But the very action of excluding Yashasvi to have him because he fits into your long-term leadership
no, it
vision.
was not that. That's what I'm trying to say. It wasn't that. Wasn't the reason. I think they had conversations with Gill.
No, but that was promise. That was Gill's promise to the team. Nothing about it was material.
No.
The only material thing was Yashasvi Jaiswal's returns with the bat in T20 cricket.
Absolutely. But I'm saying that there was no evidence to say that Shubman Gill cannot bat like that. See,
so that's what I'm saying. But it's a conversation. It's promise. Yes, I delve into your thought. I will do exactly what the team wants me to do.
I see no reason if that is the case that you go with him. I'm saying, if you look at, by the way, Gill's numbers also phenomenal in IPL. Even his strike rate, the year that he won Purple Cap, I think he was striking at 160 strike rate.
Average of 55
Exactly. So, in fact, if you remember, the time he got dropped from the T20 team was also a big shock, where he did so well initially. He got dropped, and then, of course, later Yashasvi came in, and I remember he did an interview on our platform where he said that, if I'm the highest run getter, I'm batting like this, I don't make the T20 team. I don't know what to say, but it's okay. So there was a time where it was being looked at it being unfair on him as well. But all I'm saying is that if he was just got into this team because you're looking at him as a future leader and ignoring his batting and allowing him to bat the way he does, then that would have been unfair. But as a question that you asked, that's not why he's been brought into the team.
But you will not discard somebody who's already doing exactly what you want him to do,
but then
bringing in someone else. There has to be another reason besides his cricketing reasons.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. No, there is a cricketing reason. I'm giving you a cricketing reason. No, and I'm telling you from the conversation that was had. There was a conversation had with Shubman Gill before. Now, you may look at it differently. Maybe the captain saw that Shubman can also be the batter that he needs him to be. And I trust him more than anybody else.
No, I'm saying, but there was no need per se for me to be looking at an alternative.
No, why not?
Yashasvi was doing exactly what I wanted out of an opener.
But maybe I have
and did Yashasvi that he can outdo a Yashasvi also.
Yeah, and maybe he is a better batter. I'm saying that, again, his numbers are not inferior, right? And if I have two people where I don't have a clear distinction as to...
But T20I numbers are very inferior in comparison to Yashasvi's.
But he did not get a chance when he was at the peak of his T20 powers, has never played. since the time he became the highest run getter,
2023.
from
So that's
then
what I'm
he
saying.
never got a chance.
But then I'm finding reasons to have him in the 11, na?
So that's what I'm saying. Two wrongs don't make a right. Now, if he didn't make that time when he was in the best of form because you needed to accommodate Virat, then you did something wrong to him as well. There have to be a time to do a course correction. I'm saying you did wrong.
But exactly, no. So I look at this as a wrong to begin with, and two wrongs.
So then, which wrong was the first to begin with?
So you're trying to undo the previous wrong by doing another
Again, I'm
wrong.
saying either way you did it, you're doing wrong. Nah? Now it's my discussion. I'm the captain, and if two of you have roughly the same reason to be aggrieved to not get a chance.
I have a strong feeling. Yes, of course. See, you needed to onboard him, and he had to be onboarded. Then, by delving into the same philosophy as that of the team, of course, that conversation had to have happened, and it's clearly reflecting as well. The sample size isn't enough because he's just been named vice captain for 8 matches now. I think this would be the 8th, taking into account those 6-7 matches that you played in the Asia Cup, and clearly there is a change in template, and I'm sure it'll reflect in the numbers as well. But this is Shubman Gill, who in comparison to this time had inferior strike rate, and clearly he's had to adapt. But
No, inferior strike rate in comparison to what?
to his own numbers, I'm saying he's up the ante.
No, I'm just telling you, you're looking at IPL form to do, na?
No, I'm looking at international numbers.
But
International numbers, IPL numbers is a huge gulf.
But the thing is that the Indian team is picked on IPL. No, it's a reality. You may look at it like that. You have to. Everyone is being picked basis the IPL.
No, Yashasvi was doing fine there also.
But Gill's got superior numbers there. I am saying, if you're picking test players from IPL, then why should a Gill not get benefit of the IPL?
The only thing is,
So
see,
why
I look at
is
it this way.
Why are we cherry picking in that case that for him we will not see IPL?
No, but you are in a way paving the way, because see, there is.
So that may be the other reason.
You are sculpting this team, or you're making these adjustments in a way.
If he was very inferior and just because
It wasn't
of his
very
leadership-
inferior. I wasn't.
No, but on certain counts he's superior, as I said.
Agreed.
So then it is a.
But
case
I don't need people with high averages, right? I need people with high strike rates.
Strike rates also.
Yeah, and
Strike rate
that
also.
that I got in this season of the IPL from him. But
23
when I'm
also.
looking at
23 also.
But I'm
sir,
looking-
when he finished at the highest run getter.
But there are so many players we've seen do well in IPL and not international cricket. So many players. KL Rahul wasn't the same player in T20 internationals for India as he has been in
Vice
IPL.
versa also.
Such
Vice
a
versa
good
also.
player. So
Vice
see,
versa also.
you had to. Did you have enough reason to have a Shubman Gill in the side? Was the upside greater than the trade-off of not having a Yashasvi Jaiswal? I don't think the answer to that is yes.
No, I think it's subjective. As I said, I don't think there is a big gulf as to. For you, it may be.
Yeah.
But for me, it may not
I
be.
don't see the trade-off over there. Like,
But there's no trade-off, nah. See, there is, of course, there is no denying that. Of course, they saw the leadership in him, and that's gone in favor. Harshit Rana is playing today because he can give you a bit of batting, now. So there is something that he's bringing to the table, and maybe you're looking at that. My issue would have been if you had made an exception with Shubman Gill, that you got him into the team, but allowed him the luxury to bat just the way he does, whereas everyone else had to take a risk. Then I would have had an issue with Shubman being there and no Yashasvi. If Shubman is doing exactly what everyone else is doing, then I have no grievance. If you're looking at him as a future leader, then he will have to be in the team. Then he will have to. So long as he's buying into the philosophy of the team and he's being one of the member of every other. I don't want to be the guy who okay, just because I don't like somebody, now he's gotten into the team. He's doing also what the team is asking. I say, no, don't play him. I have often said that it was very unfair on a Yashasvi not to be making it. But I don't think what now Shubman is doing is making it, seem very obvious. I mean, Harshit Rana is a different case, which we'll probably get into as to how he plays and how ARSHDEEP it doesn't. But I'm saying once a Gill came in, it raised eyebrows. But what he's doing now, I think he's
absolutely, he deserves a thumbs up for that.
He now.
Also, I don't think there was going to be any other way, because this is a philosophy that has brought this team World Cup glory, and you just had to be on board with the same philosophy. There have been different times, different people have been allowed different luxuries. Huh? That's what I'm saying. Then I would have had an issue. I'm saying, for example, Sarfaraz doesn't make the test team. We're objecting to him not making the test team because of whoever has come in, whether it was Karun Nair or Sai Sudarshan or whoever is playing in that middle order, is not doing great. That's why it becomes so much of an issue. But hypothetically, let's say Sarfaraz was dropped, okay, and let's say Sai Sudarshan set the stage on fire, okay, and he was,
batting. He had a 50 average now at the end of 9 innings or whatever. I don't think we would have raised too many issues about Sarfraz in the main team. A is a different team because we're again looking at backups. But I don't think we would have, because you would have said, fine, yes, it would have been wrong to have dropped him and we would have spoken about it. But once Sai Sudarshan came in and he was sitting at a 50 average, you said, now it's a moot point. Forget about it, right? You've got a guy who's just outperforming everyone, you move on. I think that's what Gill is doing. You wanted to...
No, I mean, I just had the stats comparison for Yashasvi and Shubman right from 2023, okay? If you look at...
IPL, huh?
Yeah, IPL. Shubman, 2023 starting point, 59.3 average with a strike rate of 157.8. So 158. When you compare it with Yashasvi, average of 48 and a strike rate of 163. Okay. Now Yashasvi in 2024, 31 average and 156 strike rate. Okay. If you look at Shubman Gill, 147 strike rate at an average of 13.9.
So both the times.
If you look at it, both have had great times.
Yeah.
2024.
Both seasons have been almost equal.
Almost equal.
Yeah.
2025, Shubman Gill, 50 average, 156 strike rate. You look at Yashasvi, 160, 43 strike rate. Very little to choose from between these two.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I would have had an issue if there was a big difference between the two, and you made an exception for Shubman to be the way he is in IPL. You're not doing that. He is now like every other member of the team. He has to bat a certain way. If he's batting and he continues to bat like that, then I think he's being fair to the selection and everything is fair. And then you need to judge him for his performance on a long term, which we will. Of course, he'll have. I think India has to play 15 or
14 more, 4 here, then
T20I.
5.
So we'll
South
have a better
African
idea as by the time it finishes. Okay, to the elephant in the room is. Yeah. 100%. But that is why the average is a big difference. Nah? If he's sitting in an average of 38 or 40, Gill is at an average of 50. So that is also the difference. So if you have to see the strike rate in comparison to the average. If a player gives you 20 runs more on average and then he's dip on the strike rate, I'll take it. But if the average is the same and there's a gap in strike rate, then it is an issue. No?
The
so
KL Rahul
some sort of a trade-off. For that.
Yeah, for example,
I
KL
can allow
Rahul,
a 10 ball less, 147 versus 157 strike rate is fine, so long as there's a big 10-point difference in average. Also.
You can't have an average of 50 and a strike rate of 130.
Yeah,
that is not there. That's the same problem that plagued KL Rahul in his entire career.
Okay, ARSHDEEP Singh, what does he have to do? The highest wicket taker for India in T20I is sitting out.
Very simple. Learn how to bat.
But should he now? Should he learn how to bat?
That this team management needs to answer.
Is that fair? I don't think, valid point that learn how to bat. By the way, ARSHDEEP does fancy himself as a batter too.
He can use the long handle as you know.
But you know that's still a tail ender.
Cameo helped you against Pakistan.
No, I agree. Tail ender, all of that. He's not the all-rounder that you're looking for, quote unquote. I agree with that. But I don't even agree to that. Why should he learn how to bat when his primary skill is so good? He's so good with his primary skill. He's both economical and a wicket taker. I don't think you need a third.
You raised a point, right? In Adelaide, he seemed to be struggling with some injury. ARSHDEEP. Perhaps as a precaution, he was not picked because he didn't play Sydney.
I agree, but then they would have mentioned it because they mentioned it for Nitish Kumar Reddy, right?
Out for 3 T20Is.
I'm sure they would have mentioned it for ARSHDEEP. If they haven't, then it's a clear-cut scenario. See, I don't think the team would also want to invite this sort of criticism. They know that this will be happening. So in case there was an issue, they could have put that alongside Nitish Reddy. Like they've given a detailed report about Nitish Reddy missing the first 3 T20. They could have mentioned.
Maybe it's not such a severe injury.
But still,
they don't want to aggravate it.
No, you mentioned side strains also. Come on.
So side strains. That's a whole different ball game altogether. But
Shoaib Akhtar even mentioned things that and then you are saying you can't mention.
Oh goodness.
Or was it the board that mentioned?
Board
leaked it out. Yeah.
Wrote it also.
Unknowingly.
Maybe I don't know why it would have, because somebody who must be drafting the press release would have taken the medical report. Obviously wouldn't have understood what that means.
जाने दो.
Control C,
See,
control V.
Two reasons. One, did not understand it, or two, really hated him and said, "ये तो मैं डालूंगा ही."
At that time,
It's like
I need to get back.
It's like,
again before that.
we all learned a bit about anatomy, right? When we had the Shreyas Iyer episode, laceration, if nobody understood what or what the spleen was, and if the spleen was something else and not what it actually is, that we would have been entertained too. But yeah, you expect the BCCI folks to be doing some.
That was PCB.
So exactly.
Not
PCB, not BCCI.
PCB.
Yeah, but you do expect the BCCI folks to be,
Lacerated spleen. At least it was medically, it was the right term used. But yeah, coming back to the question, I mean, India has got so many people. There should be a petition. Please let us play 15 players in the side.
So you're saying it's okay because we have so many players.
Surya said, "No, it's a good headache to have."
Yeah, but I see.
What is a good headache?
No, but I don't think even that can. I agree. Okay, looking at it, that you need batting till 8. So I think Harshit is your number 8 today.
Yeah.
So that is something that they have now kind of established. And okay, fine, I'll buy that. That you need batting till 8. Now the issue is how do you fit an ARSHDEEP in if you need batting till 8 and Harshit offers you that. Because as soon as I know everyone's going to be targeting Harshit, but because he's that number 8 batter, you can't really remove him. See, this is what happens when there is a Hardik Pandya around.
void.
It's just sorted. This thing is sorted. But him not being there is an issue. You could have sorted that out by bringing a Nitish Kumar Reddy in, but he's injured. So you only have a Shivam Dube. And now you need another fast bowler. So then comes Harshit. The only way this can happen is if you drop one of the two spinners.
Specialists.
Drop Varun Chakravarti.
Varun or Kuldeep. And I thought maybe in these Australian conditions you can go with two spinners, Aksar plus either Kuldeep or...
Thought so too.
You can. But I think because they need that batting now, Harshit filling in, the thing is then they don't need an extra fast bowler. Now Dube is going to bowl.
Yeah.
Some overs for sure. They want to see that. Harshit is going to bowl a few overs, and then you've got.
But what this also tells you is still middle overs you're expecting your spinners to give you all 12. This is the philosophy then. And this is exactly where we thought that they would perhaps, given the conditions, be looking at having 3 proper spacers. Because if not Australia, then where?
That's the problem.
Yeah, you could have. That's what I'm saying. The only way you can fit in is either you put a Varun or a Kuldeep out. But I guess, I mean, you looking at the conditions, if I was captain, I probably could have rested one of those spinners and bought in an ARSHDEEP, because in these conditions you need that, and he's good at depth as well as with the new ball, will pick you wickets, do the containing job, everything he'll do. But because of the success that he's achieved, Suryakumar Yadav, with both Varun and Kuldeep, and I know in very different conditions, mostly playing at home or in Dubai, so he's tempted to go. I think he's finding it tough to leave anyone out who's helped him win so many games.
I mean, just 2 losses in 2 years under Surya's captaincy. What do you do then?
See, Dube though he can't drop if he wants to win.
Oh yeah.
Dube said, he thinks I'm a proper all-rounder.
No, plus he's never lost a T20.
Yeah.
So if you want to win as
Barring
a
his
captain,
debut.
you have to bring him in.
Dube has lost 1 T20 in his debut. And that was Bangladesh's only win against India in T20s, imagine.
No, I thought he had never lost a T20.
He's
Only
not
one.
lost for the past 4-5 years.
He knows how it feels to lose a T20.
Yes, on his debut. It happened right here in the polluted heart of the capital. 800 plus AQI. The game was delayed by 2 hours and Bangladesh won. That's the only win that they have got. So it's tough on ARSHDEEP. Let's make it very honest. You don't drop the leading wicket taker in T20Is for India so easily.
Yeah, just when he was primed to be, bowling in England, he suffered that injury. That webbing of his got cut. ODIs, he's been unfortunate. And T20 is the one format you thought, you'd converted a death over specialist to a power play bowler, and he delivered on that front as well. Was getting the ball to swing. You thought that the boy was only good to go for the block hole, but he's getting the ball to swing around as well. And so he was basically doing everything that you wanted him to do, and then he stripped off his place in the 11 also.
Puts in that extra effort also.
That grunt.
Yes, do you have to?
But unreal hate for Harshit. Unreal. I mean, I don't know why they are going after him.
It's that the genesis is the way that he was introduced. That's
Gives me RJ vibes, Ravindra Jadeja vibes. of 2009.
No, I understand because you're keeping a player out who deserves to be in the team, and I completely agree. But I guess you need batting till 8, and if you try and make that combination, only way you can play him is if you drop a spinner.
Yeah.
And I don't think I would have dropped a spinner and got ARSHDEEP, but I guess it'll take some time for you to get used to playing without any of these two match-winning spinners. Though credit to, even though conditions are not conducive that much to spin bowling, but I must say Varun and Kuldeep are two spinners who even in these conditions can win you game.
Yeah. Varun through that skid and Kuldeep with his
like
line.
you could say that Akshar might still need conditions or Washi might still need conditions, but these two
Only in red ball. I don't think white ball also they are over the conditions. I think they do well in white ball anywhere.
no, where Washington doesn't even get overs. Yeah,
Washi does well in Australia and white ball. I mean, the ODI series.
Yeah, but in white ball cricket, he will still need some sort of conditions. I don't think he has that much ability as a spin bowler to create trouble in. Whereas Varun, because he's quite like a medium pacer, does that. Plus, Kuldeep also enjoys that extra bounce. I guess
Correct.
they will enjoy these conditions.
Yeah.
Pranit
Datta saying Nikhil JAISWAL was part of
Yes.
T20 World Cup. He was next in line after Rohit retired. Gill was dropped. He has jumped selection as present selectors favour him.
So, Pranit, I only am the one who's been saying that Gill was, JAISWAL was part of that. I was there at that World Cup. He was a backup opener for the Indian team, and they made an exception to have him out because Virat, it was decided. I know that. Absolutely right. But if you remember, Gill was also dropped despite being, everyone got selected into the team despite being the highest run scorer, was not selected in the team. So I think even that at that time also they weren't fair to him. And then of course because JAISWAL came over him and then became the regular part of the team, and it's very unfortunate. I think we've pointed it out. As when the selection happened, I think you're the first ones to point out. I don't think you're understanding what I'm saying. I'm saying now, if I have seen enough of Gill in the Asia Cup as well as this particular T20I, where Gill is telling you that he is ready to buy into the philosophy of the team and ready to bat like that, then he needs to be given a chance and be judged on that performance. My issue with Gill coming in earlier was that how can he be in part of this team which is looking at batting in the manner that they do. But then I heard that there were conversations that were had with him before the selection, and he was told, and he was more than happy to be batting like that. It's pretty much similar to the conversation that were had with Sanju Samsung as well, where to ensure that he continues to be in the team, he was asked that he'll bat in the middle order. There were two options, either to keep him out of the team or him batting lower down the order, and he gladly accepted the second option. So there are many things that change. I think you heard Suryakumar Yadav say that the beauty of this team is anyone can bat anywhere and everyone is ready to bat in that one same formula. So which is good to see.
Pranit again, if 25 IPL is the criteria, Tilak Abhishek should never be made it. When they shouldn't have made it. You can't say that Abhi Tilak criteria is international, but JAISWAL will be IPL, not international.
But exactly my point, and you can't even say the other way around. That somebody's criteria will be international but not IPL. Now it is I just said Harshit Rana has come into the team through IPL only, sir. Let's we forget Sai Sudarshan has come into the test team through IPL only. So even they have benefited. Then you have a fixed thing that we will not look at IPL, then stop looking at IPL for anyone. Then don't.
IPL is the be all.
Both things can't be, no? There were certain people only T20Is. For certain IPL, I think what they do is look at all sorts of performances, then make a call.
Yeah, Steve Ticolo was saying, Nikhil, how will you play Bumrah, Arsh, Varun, Kuldeep, even when Hardik is around? ARSHDEEP T20I career is over, only game time when Bumrah is rested or injured.
No, you can't play all of them, but if Hardik is there, then the one who's getting all the hate goes out. Huh? Harshit Rana goes out. Done. Team is done. And if that would have happened, I know there wouldn't have been much hate flying around. The fact that it's Harshit Rana who's playing is a bigger issue than ARSHDEEP not playing. At least what I can gauge from the social media.
Steve Ticolo again. Nikhil, is Hazelwood the best all-format bowler currently? Everyone says it's Bumrah, but silently Hazelwood is having some god form in the past 2 to 3 years.
But I'd still say Bumrah. Because of the impact that he has.
Hazelwood doesn't bowl that much in the death. Yes, when given the chance, he's a great death overs bowler. But no, I think Bumrah.
Yeah, but Hazelwood again.
Yeah.
Right up there.
The Bentimere bullet, as always.
Okay. B2 says, honestly, I hate India losing, but if losing this series would get Gambhir sacked, I'm all for it. He's acting like a tyrant. ARSHDEEP not in T20 is really... By the way, I don't know if you heard that interview that Gambhir did. And that's what I'm saying.
Delhi test.
Yes. Where he said, this is not my team. This is Suryakumar Yadav's team. This is Suryakumar Yadav who's the captain who decides. By the way, I just tell you, that's what I'm trying to say. People don't realize it. You think the team that is playing now, I go back to Gill. It is not all because of a Gautam Gambhir. Because what I was telling Harshit at that time, there was a conversation that was had with Shubman Gill, and that conversation wasn't had or wasn't between the coach and Shubman Gill. Coach did not play a role. It was by the captain in Suryakumar Yadav. He spoke to Gill prior to the selection, because you must remember the captain is also part of the selection process, and he does have a lot of say in that. So
2027, right? His contract's extended till 2027, right, Gambhir? Or no, it's only till
extension. I don't know about any extension yet.
It's till August 2026, Gambhir's contract. Gambhir's contract is till August 2026, right? Or he's gotten an extension till 2027.
I don't know about any extension till now.
That's the thing. Arvind Atres, Harshit, correct yourself. Shreyas can play normally after recovery and do anything.
What did they make any comment about him not being able to play properly?
I don't know. You did those videos.
Yeah, that's. But I'm also trying to recall, Arvind.
The doctor must have said, no, that after this, I think I remember you said that it becomes.
Yeah, he can't even take a knock.
Take a knock, and it can be dangerous. But he's saying,
I think it's.
But Arvind, I don't know. By the way, firstly, what is your source of even confirming that that he has been released from the ICU and is recovering well and all that is great. We've also reported that. But how are you so sure as to what you are saying as well? What is your nobody? There is no
time will tell.
Bulletin.
It's a function of time.
There has been no medical bulletin by the hospital or by the BCCI which also reinstate what you are saying. Yeah. So we of course have our fingers crossed, and we hope that he can do exactly what you are saying. But there is no clarity on that. Only thing we know is he's on his way to recovery. Yeah. He's out of the ICU and he's recovering much faster than I
that fall didn't look
expected.
World Cup.
Obviously, it had to be till the World Cup. No, you can't have.
Steve Ticolo, I'm telling you, this team combination of Bumrah, Hardik, Dubey will get us knocked out in the T20 World Cup on some due day, same as 2016 T20 World Cup semi-final due day.
Don't talk about that day.
How many days can
there was
But I am so bit surprised. He's putting Bumrah, Hardik, Dubey in that category. All three of them, I think,
because Hardik bowled a no ball in that 2016 T20 World Cup. Bumrah also, I think, bowled one no ball. Ashwin bowled a no ball. Oh, that is.
At the match, we lost to Dew, apparently.
Yeah, we lost to Dew. But I don't know. I mean
there's a catch dropped as well.
By the way, Bumrah and Hardik and Dubey are very different bowlers and players, might I add, from what they were then.
10 years ago, yeah.
Huge difference.
Yeah,
Huge.
10 years. Yeah, huge.
Dubey
Yeah.
and Huge.
Yep.
Okay, last two comments. Anshu Mishra. Nikhil said Chhat Puja is our biggest festival, most popular in our Bihar, and it's celebrated all over the world. And I saw in news Delhi CM declared holiday on Chhat. Then how are you in office on 27th? We have to be.
I think Anshu asked Shane and me this question as well while we were doing a live that
There are no holidays for us. Our holidays have to be planned based on the cricket calendar. No, doesn't matter. So here also it was holiday. Right. So yeah, I mean, one thing is technically we are in UP in Noida, but also our holidays are based on
the
ICT
calendar.
Indian cricket.
ICT, ICC, everything.
That's why sometimes Diwali we have to work, or New Year Day we have to work when they're playing. Luckily this time they weren't playing on Diwali or on New Year Day.
Exactly.
So I mean, generally.
Correct.
Okay, Ashish Chandelier.
Gigi emphasized on batting till 8, and for that Harshit is suitable on what criteria? On 24 knocks in ODI. He hit only 4 sixes in whole T20 career. Isn't Gigi going back on his word on his convenience?
No, but Ashish, from what I hear, you may not have seen much of him, but he can bat. That's a fact. Just that he isn't getting too many opportunities to show that. But he can bat. That's why he's classified as an all-rounder. That's why he came as an impact sub.
In place of Dube.
So you know that.
Yeah.
So that's that.
Exactly.
Okay. Final comment.
50 to defend in 4 overs in Wankhede.
Who is this?
Steve Ticolo, as
now,
always.
Now.
You have 2 overs of Bumrah and 1 over of Dube and Hardik. Whom will you back? Will India be able to defend this honestly? 50 to defend in 4 overs in Wankhede. Oh God.
Yeah. Bumrah will give 6, 12.
12.
How many left?
Then you need 38 in 2 overs. Hardik can give 16. 15,
why will he
16.
give 15, 16? He bloody defended
16 runs. Yeah. So he can get 10 runs. 28.
Also,
all the Dube was hit for 34.
Yes, but Dube now. That was a different Dube.
With that leap.
But I don't think they'll plan it like that they'll keep 1 over of Dube.
I mean, why not?
It's just cross.
Kuldeep, Varun and Akshar would have bowled there 4-4-4. Bumrah 4.
That's it.
Hardik 4.
Hardik 4.
Done. Why would Dube need to bowl that 1 over?
I don't know. This is just analytical cherry picking. Just have Dube in the mix for the death overs.
Okay, Priyanshu's
was just because we touched upon the topic of Harshit, and I do remember, I think we all know that he has a first class century where the top score is 122.
Yes.
So man can hang around.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Can. Final comment.
Priyanshu. Shami should be back in South Africa ODIs. I think he should be.
ODIs, I'm not too sure.
Then directly for the test matches
Test matches, he may still...
15 wickets in 2 matches should give you that confidence. And he's playing one more round.
Yeah.
Because November 1st, I think, is the third round of the Ranji Trophy. So if he plays that, I think 14th, he should be picked in the red ball team. But ODI and T20I...
I would want him actually in ODI, but I'm not too sure they'll...
Yeah.
And now you know these comments are also not taken very well of the comments that he made.
Yes, it's not. Indeed. Okay.
Take care, guys.
See
Take
you.
your leave. We're going to be back in 1 hour 15 minutes for our evening dugout.
Yeah.
Just a bit of a teaser. We're going to be talking semi-final of the Women's World Cup.
Yes.
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Can our girls do it?
Yeah.
Can they upset the apple cart and knock Australia, the giants of women's cricket, out of the tournament? Can they do it? They've done it once before. Can they do it again? We'll discuss at 6:30.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye from us.